Reynatis is an action RPG with some legendary names behind it, such as Kazusuji Nojima and Yoko Shimomura. I have had the pleasure of playing it before release, and in today's video I am going to be giving you my thoughts and opinions. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. As always, got you covered with timestamps down below, so if there's a certain section of the video you would like to skip to, feel free to do so. All I ask is you to support the channel and hit the like button, and if you want to stick around for some more RPG content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. Now, before we go into the game, I was gifted a limited edition version of Reynatis from Nice, America, and we're going to have a quick look of what this includes. Though the fact that I got gifted this, it doesn't affect anything that I'm going to say in this video. These are my thoughts and opinions, and my thoughts and opinions alone. So let's dive into this limited edition box. Now, I think to get the best viewing experience, we need to turn the green screen off so you can see what this entails. And also we can see it is a very nice box with some art on there. Let's dive inside and see what else we've got in here. So of course we've got the game itself in all of its glory. Hopefully there's not too much shine, but you can see there it's the deluxe edition. Very, very nice. We've also got an acrylic stand here. It has some little bolts that go in these little holes here, and you'll be able to just see that it's kind of got a 3D effect to it. It's like 2 layers, but it's very nice for something you can have on display. It also comes along with a art book, and this book has all of the art in the game, all of the concept and all the description of the characters. I'll just get a random page for no context, but it's there, and again, very, very nice little thing to get with this limited edition version of the game. So yeah. Also, we get the original mini soundtrack with some nice art, and it opens upwards like this, and you can see there, and there's the track listing. You'll be hearing some of these tracks in the background of this video. And last but not least, we've got this kind of, I don't know what it's called. It's just like a nice print of the box art here that you can have on display. And if you flip it here, you can also see some more of the game art. So that is the limited edition in a nutshell. Let's dive in to the story of the game. So I'm going to read you a brief synopsis of what the game is, and then I'm going to dive into what my thoughts are about that story. In this world, there are those that can use magic and those who cannot. The wizard minority are regarded as dangerous, an object of fear for the general public. Wizards are forced to hide their true identities and live in seclusion. I think that perfectly entails what you can expect from Reynatis. We play as 2 characters. We play as a 19-year-old college student, Marin Kizazumi, and we also play as a previous police officer but now joining the MEA, which stands for the Magic Enforcement Administration, Sari Nishijima. And throughout the game we have the perspective of these characters, and that is a gameplay mechanic which we'll talk about a little bit later. But as for the characters, they're coming from different perspectives of this world. It does a good job of kind of showing those perspectives as we go through the story, but it does get lost throughout the game just a little bit. You need to be talking to NPCs and looking at phone conversations to really get a grasp and a sense of these characters. My overall thoughts is, again, the story has a pretty solid foundation to it, but it does get lost in the shuffle along the way. I didn't find myself being too invested. Maybe I skipped too many optional conversations throughout the way, but I found myself a little bit lost and just kind of going through the game without an aim. Now, from story, let's go into the gameplay of Reynatis, and there is a lot here. We want to talk about exploration first. We have the town of Shibuya that we can go through, and to be fair, the representation here is spot on. It feels like I am walking through the streets of Shibuya. I've never been there myself, but I should imagine walking through this game at nighttime is probably the same feeling you'd get. They've captured that spirit very, very well. Also, there is a magical world out there called Another, and these are like little mini dungeons, but these are few and far between, and they kind of reuse the atmosphere of these and just throw in different layouts here and there, so it feels like different dungeons. But these are the two main places you are going to be exploring in the game. Now, while traversing the world of Reynatis, you'll come accustomed to liberated and suppress modes. What are these you're talking about, Jen? Well, I'm going to tell you. Essentially, when you're using using your magic, you are liberated. You are out there using it. And in the case of Marin, one of the protagonists, if you do this, it's not allowed out in the open. You can't be doing this, and you get chased down. And it kind of has like a wanted system, but it doesn't really work very well. You can reset this quite easily by going to a different map or just using the fast travel option. I would have liked to see them dive into this a little bit more and make it a bit more intense, but the way it kind of works, it just isn't fully committed to it. Like, you would do a side quest of where you would need to do a battle, and because you've done that battle, you've revealed yourself to the area that you can use magic, and they will start using social media to say, hey, have I just seen a wizard? And then that word will get around to the MEA, then that will then chase you down, and if they get you, you're going into a pretty intense hard battle that you're probably going to lose, and I lost most times. So I really wish there was a balance to where this system works effectively. There are places throughout the map that you just stand there and wait for time to pass. Apart from that, I really don't think the system in the exploration of things works very well. When you're using the other protagonists, Sari, it doesn't really matter if you're liberated or suppressed because you are the law, so there's no restrictions there. I did mention that there are side quests as well, and these are few and far between in respects of adding to the story. Some of them are very just random. Like, you'll talk to someone then to complete the side quest. This is the first side quest you do, by the way. You just literally have to walk down the street to talk to somebody else and the thing is complete. Some of them are a lot more complex. You have to defeat enemies or you have to find someone in a different area, but I didn't feel like it really added to the overall narrative. There was a little bit of story drops here and there, but not enough to keep me invested, unfortunately. So let's move on from the exploration and just the traversal of the world to the combat, because I feel like this is probably its strongest suit. It's an action RPG. You can attack, you can do combos, you have abilities, but again, you have this thing you need to manage, the liberated status and the suppressed status. So when you are in your attack mode, which is your liberated status, your MP goes out over time, so you need to manage it sparingly. You use certain abilities, and those abilities are going to use more of that. When it completely empties, you automatically get thrown into suppressed mode, and what suppressed mode is essentially like a defensive mode. You need to avoid attacks and use the right opportunity, which it does automatically, to then replenish that MP to go back into the liberated mode. And I did kind of get the swing of it as I played more and more of the game. As the game started out, I was like, there's not much to this, but as you get introduced to more abilities and you look at the abilities that you can equip and you can mix and match and level them up, there is a layer there that you can really mess around with. And with some of the boss fights, I was having a fantastic time pulling off combos, going into the suppressed status at the right time to do a perfect dodge that replenished my MP pretty instantly, and then I went back into the liberated status and went ham with some damage numbers, but there isn't much more outside of that. It's very rinse and repeat. I did touch on abilities. There are abilities that you can unlock along the way. You also have other party members, whether you're playing with either of the protagonists, and you can switch these out on the fly, and these do have a cooldown, and again, this kind of flows in nicely with the way the battle works. You can get some combos. You're about to run out of MP, but you don't want to go into suppressed status, maybe change to another character, unleash some abilities, change to another character, and then throw in your suppressed status. It's all there, and I had some really cool battles with it, but it's not much more outside of that. Unfortunately, it just misses the mark, and that's probably what I titled the video. It just misses the mark. But one thing that does hit is its soundtrack. I really enjoyed the soundtrack from Yoko Shimomura, a legendary composer in the video game space. Again, you are listening to it in the background. There's some kick-ass themes. It definitely reminds me of a little bit Kingdom Hearts, and it's probably one of the highlights of the game. But apart from that, it was a pretty average experience playing Reynatis. I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't know if it's because of hype from other content creators, because of the legendary names behind it, or it's just a game that I didn't click with. So now I throw the floor to you. Please let me know if you've played the demo of Reynatis or if you played the Japanese version in its entirety. What were your thoughts? Are you planning on buying this title? Let me know everything in the comment section down below. I thank you for watching. If you want to see more content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. And with that, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.